go here. Okay, hello everybody. We are going to talk about e-commerce today. And this is a subject that I love because let's take you back. So I'm Tonya Hofmann, and I've been an entrepreneur since I was 25. And one of the things that always shocked me is when my husband and I bought our first company. It was a brick and mortar retail store. So I can actually do real comparisons of what a brick and mortar store is versus an e-commerce store, okay? And that's why I'm so excited about e-commerce, because there's so many advantages. So first advantage, check one. The first one is, oh my gosh, I had $100,000 worth of merchandise sitting on the shelf all year long, waiting for someone to buy it. And then when someone did buy it, I had to then replace it. Okay, at Christmas time, it was even worse because we had to move that up to about $250,000 in product. So you can imagine how much you have to put out right up front. Then you also had fixtures, right? And you had to have the huge expensive fixtures. Every time you bought a new product, they had its own fixture that you had to buy with it. And then when you were done, you had to throw that fixture away because it usually was only self-purposed. Then you also were double taxation on those fixtures. Every year we were taxed on those fixtures. I know it doesn't sound right, but it was property tax in the sense of the store's property. And so there was so much that you had to do in the stores, including being there 7 days a week, right? We opened from 10 to 9. That meant we were there from about 8 to about 11, right? Making sure the store up and ready, going to the banks. Then you have all of the fees, all of the taxes. Believe me, there were so many taxes you wouldn't even believe. It was mind-boggling when you talk about brick and mortar. So when you're really looking at the brick and mortar concept, people love it because it's this idealistic, oh, I can have my own store. Because that's the way my husband and I were. We're like, yay, we're going to have our own store. And they were like, oh my gosh. So we've got to be there and we've got to be on our feet, right? And then we're not even talking about the people stealing products, money, the employees. Oh my gosh, we had to hire high schoolers. Can you imagine the drama? And so you can see really quickly that it doesn't even make sense to have a brick and mortar business, especially since everything we know is going to click and order. And when I went into the wholesale industry, I did that again. So I did the retail stores for 7 years. And believe me, we were doing $1 million a year in the stores. But only about 5% was coming home. Yeah, do the math. So when you start really looking at it, it wasn't worth our time. And so we, looked at, what else can we do? So I went in the wholesale industry working with small to medium-sized retailers. And again, you saw it over and over again, people putting their entire savings and more into their stores, eventually having to close it. So I'm a big supporter of online anything, because when you start looking at the reality, you don't have the overhead. You don't have the employee cost, all of the everything the government puts on you to have that brick and mortar store, okay? So when you start looking at an e-commerce platform, especially one that you're not even having to do any of the fulfillment, now you've got play, right? Now you've got an ability to have fun and enjoy the experience instead of having there sweating, hoping that somebody walks into your store. Now, a lot of times people ask me, well, how do people gonna find my website? Okay, that's a very legitimate question, because if they don't find the website, nobody would be like, who knows? It's just a random website on the internet. So we're going to also talk about how do you drive that traffic, because it's really important how you position your store. Okay. Now, I love the I Buy Right stores. It's part of iPro Network. And if you're here and you're enjoying this and you're like, oh, I don't know what that looks like or what that is. So I'm going to show you an example because this blew me away. Coming from brick and mortar, that somebody else would handle customer service issues, right? Packing it up, the entire website. So you don't even have to deal with the website. All the products, finding the products, shelving the products. I don't have to have millions of dollars worth of products just sitting there waiting for someone to buy it, right? Then also the logistics of it, you know, getting it to the people, handling all of the logistics of it. That's really huge, right? You can imagine that that is usually the one area when people try to do their own e-commerce stores start to backpedal because you're like, oh my gosh, you know, there's still a lot that you have to deal with. So I'm going to show you an example of a I Buy Right store. Now, this is an example of my store. It's called My Pretty Price. Now, I created a splash page, and this is something that you can do. So you can create some little extra marketing before they get there so that it's like, oh my gosh, I know all these brands, right? And then you can have them click on any of this. You got the logo, you've got what they have, right? And I personally love showing diversity and excitement. And so they can click on any of these and it takes them over to the I Buy Right store. So this is the I Buy Right. It is completely done, okay? When you go to the front of it, it's completely already done for you. This is the way it looks. All you have to do is put up your logo. So when you buy one of the I Buy Right stores and you initiate it, it's $105 a month to keep this active. What do? They're doing everything. So believe me, $105 is like nothing. Can you imagine? Because you're not even paying an employee, you know. So that's what is so impressive is they handle all of these beautiful pictures and everything. Now you've got to realize that every one of these pictures, when they buy them, you know, they're paying a lot of money. Usually a picture like this is around $10 to $30. So you're not even having to pay for that. Sweet. And then they're handling all these incredible products too, right? So that they've got the pictures of them and they're doing the cost comparison. Now you can see this incredible lift serum, laser FX, right? So this $78. Now if you buy it in the retail store, it's going to be even more than that. This is usually pricing at the Amazon pricing. And then they take it up to and more, as you can see here, to 20% off. Okay, so this one's way cheap. So what I would suggest is finding products like this, ordering it in, and then what you're going to do is you're going to market that item. Because you can click on info and it takes it to a product page. Okay, so they can get a little bit more information and add to cart. So the point is that you want to drive people from the internet to a specific product. If you just say, come and see a store, it's got great products, it's got 33,000 name brand products that ships worldwide, and you know, way, come and try it out. It's not a lot of pull. But if you say you had this laser FX lift serum, I mean, hello, who doesn't want to lift something? You're gonna be curious, right? And with this huge discount, it's going to draw people over. Now, what I would suggest doing is when you get that item yourself, then what you're going to do is you'll show like a picture of it, right? And, you know, with our phone, please don't think this has to be professional. People don't want professional anymore. Let me say it again. People don't want professional. They want real. They want to say, oh my gosh, that person is just like me. Right? And you got to remember, you're going to probably be promoting it to the people that you know. So they're going to go, oh, look, right? Oh, there's Porter. He's doing this. Oh my gosh, looks Angela, right? You're going to actually draw in people because they're going to go, what is she doing? So what I would suggest is taking a selfie. Take a selfie with a particular product, right? Smile. Oh, love on it, right? The cuter the picture, if it's your personality. If it's not your personality, that's fine. So you're just loving on the product. Make sure you can see the image, right? Here's another product. You could also show an actual product. So say you're like wanting to do lipstick, like, right? So you could do something like that. My friend Deborah, she's got a ginormous cat. Okay, it's called Samson, and it's a Maine Coon cat, and it's very sweet and docile, which is kind of crazy because it's so huge. And so what she did, let me show you this. So she created Samson's Club. Isn't that cute? And then she's got this huge picture of him sitting on a stool. So what she's going to do is take pictures of Samson with things. Here's a collar, because she has a pet store, right? Here's my new collar, right? Oh, I love this food. So you can take a picture and then post it with a direct link to that website. Okay, so let me show you again in case you're, like, what? So say you've got Tidy Cat, right? And you want to, that's your item you're going to show. So she's got the cat, so that makes sense, right? So she has a box of the cat liners, and she'll have like Samson sitting by his litter box and without anything in there, with the cat liners in there. Okay, and then he'll say, something in the post. You put the picture on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, right? You put the picture in there, and then you write, I love, because it's Samson, right? In quotes, I love my Tidy Cat box liners, especially since it's hugely discounted for $23.90 to $19.53 this week. Grab yours today. And then up here at the top, you see the browser, right? You're going to copy this, right? So you take that whole thing right there, and you're going to put it into your post. So that way, when they click on that, it goes directly to this page right here. Okay, don't send them to the home page. You don't want them searching for it. You want them to go to what they just saw, because that's what they're interested in. Because then they're going to go, oh, I'll add that to cart, right? They're going to click on that. They're going to add it to the cart, and then they're going to go and do some more. They're like, okay, it's $19.53. I can put in, and I can even see what the estimated taxes are. I mean, shipping. Okay, and so they're like, oh, well, let me see what else is for my cat. I need a cat bed. So then they're going to go start roaming around after they bought what they were looking for. And they're like, oh my gosh, I want this kitty seal. Oh my gosh. So that's how you get them to your site. So for me, then I would take this product, and I would take a picture of me with the product. And then with the product, then I would say, oh my gosh, I'm trying this new lift serum. It's $36. It was $78. Grab it today. Here's the link to go and find out more. Boom. But it's the price, right, is going to be a huge selling point. The item, and that you love it. Okay. Now we've got the 4 stores that you can choose from. Obviously, we have a beauty store. We've got a pet store. We've got a Christian kind of motivational store. And then we also have an organic store, kind of like Whole Foods, but the not food part. And so when you start really looking into those stores, you find one that fits you and your personality and what you love, so that you get those items and go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I got this blankety blank, because I can, you get the discounts yourself, right? Now, say somebody buys from my Pretty Price website, okay? So then what happens? So the I Buy Right company goes into action. The money, right, they just paid with a credit card, all right? This doesn't have, they said that they will have it where you can use cryptocurrency later, but right now it just uses the old-fashioned credit card, okay? So they pick what they pay, boom, the money goes right into your bank account. Sweet, right? And then the I Buy Right company takes out their portion, because of course they're paying for the products, right? And yours is usually like 10 to 20% commission, okay? And then that goes, boom, that goes into your bank account, and then boom, over to I Buy Right, done. The person gets theirs, and usually depending on how they ship it, right? It's, you know, a week if they're gonna, less than a week, probably about 5 days or so to get their products. But it was very seamless. And so that's really what you want. If you're gonna own a business, you want it to be very seamless. You want to be easy. And then when you're telling people about the e-commerce websites, you know, let them know. And then also one of the things that we all need to do is support each other. So one of the things I've never understood is that small business owners don't support each other. It's crazy, right? So if you're going to buy makeup, shampoo, candles, perfume, skincare, any of that, you should be going to somebody in our systems, the I Buy Right beauty store, right? So either my Pretty Price website, someone's. Same thing with pet supplies. I was about to buy a bunch of birding. I love birds, and so I've got bird feeders galore, and you know the squirrels love to eat all of it. So I'm going to buy it from Miss Deborah's website, Samson's Club. .ibuyright.com. That's another thing. So you create the name of the store, okay? And then what do you want the kind of logo or the picture to be to represent the store? And then everything else is done. They said they are working to make it a little bit more customizable, where you change some colors and add some features to it. But for right now, it's just kind of all done, which is great because, you know, we all got a lot going on. So this is wonderful. It's all kind of just done. So you just create it. And I would personally suggest create a name that you can find the URL. So remember, I got myprettyprice.com and I made a little splash page. Just buy that, even if you're not going to use it for now, because you just don't want someone else having your website, right? It's just smart to do it that way. So easy, profitable, because literally you just boom and there it goes, right? Once you buy the I Buy Right package at the $2,000 level or higher with iPro Network, then you can pick whichever store, and you can have multiple stores. This is part I didn't realize, is that you could pick 1, 2, 3, 4 stores, and they have more categories coming out here soon. But each store you pick is $105 a month, okay? And so like my husband was thinking about doing the organic store, but what we want to do is support someone who has the organic store. So to us, that makes more sense than doing another one ourselves. We get a little overzealous because, you know, we hate being bored. So we're like, yay, let's have some more fun. But, you know, find people in your network so that you can all support each other and then buy from each other. This is really an important thing, is for each other. You shouldn't go anyplace else for organic products or a new you know, gift for somebody. You should be buying the new inspirational book from somebody's Christian store, you know, or new presents. You should be buying you know, your dog food from, you know, somebody's pet store. So also let people know about that. So
Tonya, you're awesome. This is so fun.
Oh, good.
This is Olivia, by the way. Thank you for doing this. Just want to let you know we're alive and listening.
Oh, yay! So yeah, when you start really looking at it, it's so much fun, and that's what Alita was saying, is just have fun with it. And the more fun, the more you'll drive traffic. You know, most of my websites get between 10,000 and 100,000 a month clicks. Okay. So how do I do that? And it's just exactly what I said. Now, if you want to take it one step further, you could do a Facebook Live. And really, it should be just, you know, have a theme to your website. I'm going to eventually, once I stop long enough to do it, have little videos on, okay, ladies, you're 50 and older, how are we going to cover up those wrinkles? And so I'm going to do all the kind of beauty tips with the products from my website, right? So you could do little videos, and they don't have to be long. They could be short and sweet. You could also do YouTube videos, right? Like this one I record and I put up on YouTube because I want people to find it. right? And then when you put it up on YouTube, Google loves it because, hello, they own it. So it's a great way for people to randomly find your website as well. And again, you don't have to have anything special. Get a little camera. It's usually about $40. It's called a Logitech, and it connects to your computer, okay? And you could also just do your phone. You can just literally pick up your phone and record, and you're done. The most important part, I think, is the lighting. It makes you look good. And it's the cheapest, because what I do is I went and found little clamps to put onto the wall, and I put 2 up on both sides of me, about 2.5 feet above my computer. Both sides facing down is the lights. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me show you. So see, it's a can light like you would get from the stores like Home Depot, Lowe's. They're like $6. They're just metal clamp lights like the guys use out in the garage. And then you find real nice bulbs to put in there that gives you a nice glow. I like a yellowish glow because it warms you up. So you get that. I get a little headset because, you know, and I have enough hair to cover up the Princess Leia look. But anything with a mic. So that helps keep down some of the issues with the feedback and stuff like that in some of the recordings. And then if you want to pre-record it like I'm doing here, I use Zoom, just like what you're on right now. It's the easiest to use. You have the least problems. Okay, and if you have questions about how to upload it to YouTube, it's really, once you do it once and twice, you're like, oh yeah, this is easy. You just click and save and post up on YouTube. And so it's really a great way to start driving a lot of traffic to your website. So I hope that was kind of informational.
Tonya, can I ask you a quick question, Zelita? Sorry for the background noise, but a quick question for you. This is awesome, by the way. Thank you so much for doing this. I love you for hopping on and being so, you're such an asset, and I'm really grateful and blessed that you're on the team. So quick question. Regarding setting up your store, how long did that take? What was the process? Could you walk some of us through the very basics? Because some of us haven't even, honestly, like I've gone in and maybe logged in, but could you walk some of us through that? Do you mind?
Yeah, let me show you.
Showing people? Yeah, that would be great. Some of us are really new, and I would love them to see the how-tos so they can coach others. Thanks.
Sure. We'll go over that again in case y'all missed it earlier. So when you go to iBuyRight, literally, they have everything set up for you. So once you go into the back office of your website, you'll choose the one that you want. And then you're going to log in to your iBuyRight store. Okay. And so once you do that, it's going to ask you, what do you want to name it? So like here's Deborah's Samson's Club. So she created samsonsclub.ibuyright.com. Okay. So you just pick what you want your store to be called. And then you upload a picture. Now, they had some issues. If you have issues, just contact them. They're very easy to get a hold of, and they take care of it right away, okay? And that's how fast it is. Literally, you type in what the name is, and you upload a picture, and you're done. Now, if you're trying to do something like My Pretty Price, now that, you know, what I did is I actually made my own logo, okay? Now I've got an arts background, and, you know, I like doing stuff like this. And my husband and I have done websites for people for a gazillion years. We love doing websites for people. So I just did a one-page website. No fanciness, it's just a one-page splash. And so I made each one of these little banners. So you can do something like that, but it's not required, right? You can just have your website look like this. It's ready to go, because when you go to the home page, they've got beautiful pictures already there. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do and get, don't freak out. Just start this way. And then later on, guess what? You can actually then find someone to make a splash page for you, right? I always try to keep things simple at the beginning. It's the KISS method, right? So the more you keep it simple, the easier and the faster you actually get things moving. So what I would suggest is pick a name. I go to Namecheap. Let me put that into the chat window. So Namecheap, Namecheap. I cannot spell. Oh my gosh. Namecheap is in the chat window.com, and that is an incredible website that's super easy to use for anybody who wants to create a website later. But you can buy your URL. It's like $10.88 a year, and I just put it on auto renew. And just get the .com. Don't even bother with any of the others. And so find something that works, make it, and you see how fast it was. Name, picture, done. Poof, there it is. It's like, oh, you know, is it really that simple? It's really that simple. And always the catch is the traffic, getting people and marketing it. And again, that is going to be your personality and, you know, putting it out. Look at your social media. If you don't have a large social media, it's really okay, because let's put it in perspective. I've got, say, on my personal page on Facebook, there's 5,000 people. You may have 250, but your 250 all personally know you and love you, okay? My 5,000 know of me, right? See the difference? So I'm always usually talking to the 250 who know and love me anyways. So everyone always wants to discount their list when you shouldn't. It's nowadays, you know, for people like myself that are, you know, speaking and you know, in that kind of crowd, we actually love it doing business with people that have small lists, because we know that your list is really a solid list and not just filled with fluff. But what you could do is find somebody that you really like following, you like what they are posting, and see who's following them, who's their friends, and then you can invite them to be friends. Okay, so that's a great way to kind of help build your list, is, you know, your personal people who, especially the ones you love. Don't follow the people you don't like, because they're gonna probably be like that. Follow the people that, you know, you really are drawn to, and now you're going to really increase your list. You can also take it one step further. Let's just have this as a side note. This is a bonus for y'all. You can take it where the new person who joins your Facebook, right? Send them an instant message. Okay, get on Messenger for Facebook, and then LinkedIn, just do it through the LinkedIn platform. Twitter, same thing. And when they follow you, say, hi, I'm so excited to get to know you. Let's chat. And you won't believe how many people are like, that's awesome. Because they just never get anyone who wants to chat with them from social media. And then when you get them on the phone, you know, schedule a time to meet with them. And when you get on the phone, you're like, hey, Susie, so what do you do? Remember, this is not a sales pitch. You're getting to know someone. It's about building a relationship. Susie tells you all about her and what she's got going on, and then it's your turn. And now you can talk to them about your e-commerce store that leads into your iPro fabulous family, right? So I do this all the time. I've constantly filled my calendar with new people that follow me on social media. It's just a great way to do it. So, okay, let me stop the recording.